You're watching Rurouni K95's anime review on Grave of the Fireflies. Hi Ruronis, this is your pal Rurouni K95 here. Today's anime we're going to be reviewing another anime which is particularly made by Studio Ghibli in the productions in the which is the unit on Studio Ghibli, and it's distributed by Toho Company Limited, called Grave of the Fireflies. Grave of the Fireflies is a 1988 Japanese anime war film based on the 1967 semi-autobiographical short story of the same name by Akiyuki Nosaka. It was written and directed by Isao Takahata, and it was animated by Studio Ghibli for the story's publisher Shinchosa Publishing, making it the only Studio Ghibli film under Tokuma Shoten ownership that had no involvement from them. The film stars Utomu Tatsumi, Ayano Shiraishi, Yoshiko Shinohara, and Akemi Yamaguchi. Set in the city of Kobe, Japan, the film tells the story of the two siblings, Seita and Setsuko, and their desperate struggle to survive during the final months of the Second World War. Damn, this is the first time I get to do a review on Grave of the Fireflies for the first time. So, let's start with the review. On September 21st, 1945, shortly after the end of World War II, a teenage boy named Seita dies of starvation in a Kobe train station. A janitor sorts through his possessions and finds a candy tin, which he throws it into a field. The spirit of Seita's younger sister, Setsuko, springs from the tin and is joined by Seita's spirit and a cloud of fireflies. They board a train. Some months earlier, Seita and Setsuko's house is destroyed in a firebombing along with most of Kobe. They escape unharmed, but their mother dies from severe burns. Seita and Setsuko move in with a distant aunt who convinces Seita to sell his mother's silk kimonos for rice. Seita retrieves supplies he buried before the bombing and gives everything to his aunt. Save for a tin of Sakuma drops. As rations shrink and the number of refugees in the house grows, the aunt becomes resentful of the children, saying they do nothing to earn the food she prepares. Seita and Setsuko leave and move into an abandoned bomb shelter. They release fireflies into the shelter for a light. The next day, Setsuko is horrified to find that the insects have died. She buries them in a grave, asking why they and her mother had to die. As they run out of rice, Seita steals from farmers and loots homes during air raids, which he is beaten. When Setsuko falls ill, Seita takes her to a doctor who explains that she is suffering from malnutrition. Desperate, Seita withdraws all the money in their mother's bank account. As he leaves the bank, he becomes distraught. He learns that Japan has surrendered. He also learns that his father, a captain in the Imperial Japanese Navy, is most likely dead, as most of Japan's navies has been sunk. Seita returns to the shelter with a large quantity of food, but finds Setsuko hallucinating. She assumes that a few marbles she finds that are the previously mentioned Sakuma drops, and offers Seita rocks, thinking that she had just made rice balls. Seita hurries to feed her, but she dies as he finishes preparing the food. Seita cremates Setsuko's body and her stuffed doll in a straw casket. He carries her ashes in the candy tin along with his father's photograph. Seita and Setsuko's deceased spirits arrive at their destination, healthy and happy, surrounded by the fireflies. The siblings rest on the hilltop bench overlooking the skyline of present-day Kobe. So that's my review on Grave of the Fireflies. I really loved it. I gave this anime movie 5 out of 5 because it tells a sad story rather of how you expect. Grave of the Fireflies author Akiyuki Nosaka said that many offers had been made to make a live action film version of Grave of the Fireflies. Nosaka argued that it was impossible to create the barren, scorched earth that's to be the backdrop of the story. He also argued that contemporary children would not be able to convincingly play the characters. Nosaka expressed surprise when an animated version was offered. After seeing the storyboards, Nosaka concluded that it was not possible for such a story to have been made in any method other than animation, and expressed surprise in how accurately the rice paddies and townscape were depicted. Hmm. Speaking of which is a lot more different as I expected, as I suppose. Speaking of which, Isao Takahata, who said that he was compelled to film the short story after seeing how the main character Seita was a unique wartime ninth grader. Takahata explained that any wartime story, whether animated or not animated, tends to be moving and tear-jerking, and that the young people develop an inferiority complex when they perceive people in wartime eras as being more noble and more able than they are, and therefore the audience believes that the story has nothing to do with them. Takahata argued and that he wanted to dispel this mindset when Nosaka asked if the film characters were having fun. Takahata answered that he clearly depicted Seita and Setsuko had in a substantial days and that they were enjoying their days. Takahata said that Setsuko was even more difficult to animate than Seita, and that he had never before depicted a girl younger than 5 before. Damn. Takahata said that in that respect, when you make the book into a movie, Setsuko becomes an intangible person, and said that 4-year-olds often become more assertive, self-centered, and try to get their own ways during their ages. And he explained that one could have a scene where Seita can't stand anymore. Damn, that's difficult to incorporate into a story. Takahata explained that the film is from Seita's point of view, and even objective passages are filtered through his feelings. Takahata said that he had considered using non-traditional animation methods because that the schedule was planned and the movie's release date set and the staff assembled. It was apparent there was no room for such a trial and error approach. He further remarked that he had the difficulty animating the scenery since in Japanese animation, one is not allowed to depict Japan in a realistic manner. Animators often travel to foreign countries to do research on how to depict them, but such research has not been done before a Japanese setting. Most of the illustration outlines in the film are in brown instead of the customary black. Whenever black was used, it was only used when it was absolutely necessary. Color coordinator Michio Yasuda said that this was done to give the film a softer feel. Yasuda said that this technique had never been used in an anime before Grave of the Fireflies, and it was done on the challenge. Yasuda explained that the brown was more difficult to use than the black because it does not contrast as well as black. And the film score was composed by Michio Mamiya. Mamiya is also a music specialist in a baroque and classical music. The song Home Sweet Home was performed by coloratura soprano Amelita Gallicurci. And even some of the critics in the West had viewed Grave of the Fireflies as an anti-war film due to the graphic and emotional depiction of pernicious repercussions of war on a society and the individual Therein, the film focuses its attention almost entirely on the personal tragedies that the war gives rise to, rather than seeking to glamorous it as a heroic struggle between competing nations. It emphasizes the war's society's failure to perform its most important duty to protect its own people. However, Takahata repeated denied that the film was an anti-war film. In his own words, the film is not all an anti-war anime and contains absolutely no such message. Instead, Takahata had intended to convey an image of the brother and sister living in a failed life due to an isolation from society and evoke sympathy, particularly in people in their teens and 20s. Since the film has given a little context to the war, Takahata feared a politician could just as easily claim fighting is needed to avoid such tragedies. In general, he was skeptical that depictions of suffering in similar works, such as other anime, such as Barefoot Gen, actually prevent aggression. The director, however, er, was nevertheless an anti-war advocate and the staunch supporter of Article 9 of the Japanese Constitution, and has openly criticized Japan's penchant for conformity, allowing them to be rallied against other nations. He expressed despair and anxiety whenever the youth are told to fall in the line, a reminder that the country, as its core, has not changed. Grave of the Fireflies is commonly described as an anti-war film, but this interpretation has been denied by the director as well. The film was released on April 16, 1988, over 20 years from the publication of the short story. The initial Japanese theatrical release was accompanied by Hayao Miyazaki's lighthearted My Neighbor Totoro as a double feature, while the two films were marketed to everyone expect as how it works. For when it comes to Japanese animation, or anime as what it was called and referred to. Yeah, because the starkly tragic nature of Grave of the Fireflies turned away from many audiences. However, Totoro merchandise, particularly all the merchandise, like stuffed animals of Totoro and Cat Bus, sold extremely well after the film and made overall profits for the company, and to the extent that it stabilized subsequent productions of Studio Ghibli. Damn, Grave of the Fireflies is the only theatrical Studio Ghibli feature film prior to From Up on Poppy Hill, to which Disney had never made never had North American distribution rights. So it was not produced by Studio Ghibli for parent company Tokuma Shoten, but for Shinchosha, the publisher for the original short story. Although Disney has the Japanese distribution rights themselves, thus replacing both the film's original Japanese theatrical distributor, Toho, and the original Japanese home video distributor, Bandai Visual. It was one of the last Studio Ghibli films to get an English language premiere by G-Kids. So that's going to be it for my anime review on Grave of the Fireflies. Thank you for watching, but before we go, here's my thoughts about Grave of the Fireflies. Damn, Grave of the Fireflies is considered to be one of my second favorite Studio Ghibli films, because this is what you expect. Because Grave of the Fireflies telling like a sad story rather than a good story, or is how it works. Even though my anime review is better than Damn Bennett the Sage, because that's my better anime review. Hope subscribe for content. My anime plan link in the description below. Share this video on our Twitter and Facebook if you have a Twitter and Facebook account on all social media. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up by clicking the like button on this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, RurouniK95. Feel free to join my channel if you're new to my channel. Click on my notifications bell button. Check out my videos that I'm uploading on the previous videos as well. Be sure to leave in the comments in the comment section below if you like. Keep it otaku for this anime review on Grave of the Fireflies, because it's another Studio Ghibli review for this, I guess. This is RurouniK95 saying thank you for watching my anime review. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed the next anime review video. Hope to see you soon, and hope you have a great day. And damn, I got only one more thing, which I got for the next anime review. Till next time on my next anime review, we're going to be reviewing Get in the Robot, Shinji, starting with Neon Genesis Evangelion. For the next anime review, because you stay tuned for my anime review on Neon Genesis Evangelion. You won't want to miss it.